Game Plan with Hunter Hughes. I'm Lucas Kinsey, your host, voice of West Texas A&M football, and we're already into Week 3. The football season is flying by. Week 3, well, what does that mean for West Texas A&M? It means Lone Star Conference play officially begins this Saturday. West Texas A&M hosting UT Permian Basin. Again, the Buffs at home for a third straight week, and it'll be Saturday out at Kimbrough Memorial Stadium. Do want to mention that it's an earlier kickoff. It'll be a 3 p.m. start for the West Texas A&M Buffs. And before we get into talking about UT Permian Basin, we want to talk about a big win last Saturday that the Buffs had against the previously number 7 ranked team in the nation, Colorado State Pueblo. And so we'll welcome in the victorious head coach of the Buffs, Hunter Hughes. Hunter, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Lucas. I appreciate it.
And congratulations on your first victory as head coach for West Texas A&M.
Thank you.
Coach, you look at last week, what a fun game that was. 24-21 was the score, and I know just personally for me and for our broadcasting crew on Lone Star 98.7 with Bryce Sheets and with Kent Johnson, that was a fun game. That was a lot of fun. The fans were into it. The players were obviously into it. A lot of good things happened, especially in the second half. But when you start that game and you look at the first half and maybe even the first quarter, fun is probably not the word that comes to mind. Colorado State Pueblo, a very good team, came out on fire. Their quarterback threw for 177 yards in the first half. Total offense was over 230, and they really had us on our heels. Score was 21-3, second quarter, and then right before halftime, felt like it was a critical drive for our team. Jordan Johnson ignited a spark into the team. Had a big run, took it up the middle, ended up being 28 yards, carrying defenders down the field. He got me off of my seat for sure, got the fans into it, and then a couple plays later, he ends up running it in for a 7-yard touchdown. So you go from 21-3, get a 2-point conversion, and you go 21-11 at halftime. Talk about what that drive, and specifically for Jordan, what that did to the team going into the locker room at halftime.
Well, the first thing is, we had an opportunity on the third play of the game to stop them. They had a 3rd and 8, and we had a guy miss a tackle in the backfield, which would have had them punt, and I think that would have changed the drive. It gave them momentum. It gave them a spark, and I think the game could have changed from that point on. But we're down 21-3, and put Jordan back there at quarterback, and he runs the Wildcat, and he keeps it, and like you said, he was dragging people around, and there were 21 people in the frame right there with him, one guy just standing on the outside, people trying to tackle him, and our offensive lineman behind trying to push him forward to get it, to keep him going. And then we ran a play real quick again, same thing, and Warren got outside, I believe, for about 9 or 10 yards and put us in a position to make something happen and to close something out. And, the key was for us to finish this week and did not want to kick field goals. That particularly would have been a momentum swing in their favor if they would have held us to a field goal. But, we were able to punch it in, and Jordan took it in, I think, about a 7-yard run. And the 2-point conversion, we've been practicing it and looking at it. And Coach Bassett looked at me and said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, shoot, we've been practicing it. Might as well run it if we got it. So just run it." And, and Ben put it out there when the junior could catch it. And I think that was another big put us down 10, which is the same position we were in the week before. Gave us momentum going into the locker room. And, it's what we told the guys. Here are the adjustments we're making. We're in the same spot we were. And, again, we've missed tackles. We've put ourselves in this position. There's really nothing they've done that has really, knocked us out. Let's just shore up what we're doing and see what happens in the second half.
And speaking of the second half was all about the Buffs defense. Held Colorado State Pueblo to just 81 total yards. A big chunk of that actually came on the last play of the game, kind of a desperation, a hook and ladder that they tried. And so 81 total yards, 4 forced turnovers in the fourth quarter. That was insane. Talk about your defensive effort in the second half to carry you into the victory.
Well, if you look at it, I believe we started 3 drives in our own field position, and one right about the 50-yard line. And you talk about sudden change. That's what we call it when you start down that close to your end zone, and you got to rise up to the occasion and hold them to field goals. And we were lucky. Momentum started going in our favor, and they didn't even attempt field goals. We got turnovers, and that's part of the game. And it's penalties and turnovers are huge parts of the game. That penalties erase hidden yardage, and and turnovers can swing momentum and get things going. And things started snowballing, and we got it done. And we made some adjustments and got guys in the right positions, and they made the plays. They made the most of their opportunities. That's what we tell them all the time. If your opportunity is going to come, but just when it's there, take advantage of it.
Sure. So. Another big key in this game was that our starting quarterback, Justin Hotling, the redshirt freshman, was knocked out of the game in the second half. A tough hit from a Colorado State Pueblo linebacker. And so off the bench comes Ben Arbuckle, the junior quarterback, who has a lot of experience, obviously from last year. And so he comes in, manages the game well, thought he showed a lot of poise. And then you get faced with a 4th and goal from the 4-yard line, fourth quarter, had to go for it, trailing by 7. Thought he made a really nice play on the rollout to find JQ in the back of the end zone. Talk about Ben's play.
Well, Ben did what he's supposed to do. He prepares like he's a starting quarterback all the time, because you never know when your opportunity is going to come, and you're one play away. So it's every position. We tell every position, you have to prepare like you're the starter. You have to prepare like you're going to play, and when you do get your opportunity, those other players, those other 10 people on the field are counting on you, and the people on the sidelines are counting on you. They count on you to do what's necessary to be prepared for those situations. And, Ben made the most of his opportunity, and I'm proud of him. Absolutely. And, he did make some mistakes, but, the bottom line is he threw a ball that only JQ could catch, and thank God JQ's 6'4", because I don't know if many of our other guys could have gone up there and got that ball. But and I give JQ a lot of credit. Knew exactly where he was, went straight up and got it, and came back down and made sure he had a foot in the end zone. So
it was an exciting play for sure. Speaking of exciting plays, the game comes down to the leg of your freshman kicker, Alex Schrag, who was perfect in the game, kicking field goals, and was the Lone Star Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. But Coach, a lot of confidence that you show in your young kicker, because we get the ball back after that 4th turnover, and basically with the Colorado State Pueblo out of timeouts, you said, we're going to run it 3 times. We're going to run the clock down, and I'm going to put the game on the foot of my freshman kicker.
I told Coach McDonough, I said, let's just get as many yards as we can. We're either going to win this thing or we're going to go into overtime. And I felt like if we would have gone into overtime, the momentum was on our side. I thought that our defense was playing well enough to get a stop, and our offense could make something happen. So Alex kept us from going to overtime, but I've got all the confidence in Alex. I've, since he's been here, watched him kick, seen how he prepares, see how he goes through his motions, and I ask him before every game, what's your range, what do you feel like, and he's been battling a little bit of a growing injury, but he's fought through it, and you can't say enough about a true freshman going out there with everything on the line, crowd going crazy, anticipating, and he put it right to the upright.
And here we go. Snap back to Arbuckle, gets the hold down. Alex Schrag with the leg on it. It is right down the middle. Field goal good for Alex Schrag, and the Buffs have the lead, 24-21.